Good evening, I'm Tracy Byrnes, in for Jerry Willis. Okay, well, Democrats are fighting Democrats. Republicans are fighting Republicans. Everyone's fighting. Sounds like my dinner table. Sounds nothing like a compromise on the tax deal our president offered our congressional leaders. A deal most Americans seem to support these days, according to the latest Gallup poll. So what's the holdup? Congressman Nunes is a Republican from California who sits on the powerful Ways and Means Committee. Okay, sir. In its current form, would you vote for this tax deal?
Well, we don't have a current form. That's really the problem. The bill's being drafted as we speak over in the Senate, so it has to move out of the Senate first. And so that's really the problem here. When you talk about, it's not really Democrats fighting amongst Democrats, Republicans fighting against Republicans. Remember, Republicans have no control here. This is the president's plan. A lot of the Republican senators said yes, they would vote for cloture to stop debate. Republican House members said this looks like a reasonable measure. But the devil's in the details, and that's what we're waiting on right now.
But we do know that some Republicans are saying in its current form they're not going to vote for it. So, and I think that's confusing to a lot of people. We thought that's what the Republican Party wanted all along. We got the extension of the Bush tax rates, and yet there's a lot of animosity among the ranks.
Yeah, I mean, not so much on Republicans. Remember, on the House side, you have a rebellion going on the House side amongst the Democrats. There's 250 some of them. They only need 218 votes to pass a bill. And so what you have happening here is that President Obama essentially, I think, tried to show some leadership. But you have Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer who were having dinner at the Vice President's house on Saturday night. And 2 days later, they find out that there's this supposed deal that President Obama's come up with. And so I think they've caught them off guard. Currently, you have a letter being circulated by powerful Democrats on the House Ways and Means Committee and a few others. They're trying to get 60 people to sign the letter that says they will not bring up this bill. And if they can stop it with 60 votes. And so what you really have now is Nancy Pelosi having no position on this bill, Steny Hoyer having no position, and you have an effort going to try to stop this in its tracks in the House of Representatives.
And then, of course, we heard from Harry Reid earlier this afternoon saying that they're working on a framework. He's hoping that within the next day or two we'll have something. Is the problem here that the Dems are just not getting it and they're not seem to understand it? Because the American people, according to this Gallup poll, are mostly in support of this.
Yeah, I think this is a case where the Democrats have lost power. There was an election that took place, but they have yet to realize that. Just an hour ago, there was a simple vote to proceed on what's called a rule. This is an archaic term used here in the House. But they actually had to pull the Speaker of the House out of her office. She had to run to the floor to vote, and it passed by one vote. So there's a little bit of a meltdown happening here right now, and quite frankly, it's kind of what's been happening the last 4 years under their control.
Yeah, and one could argue, you know, part of the reason is we waited till last minute here. And the estate tax now is being brought to the table as another point of contention. And I'd like to just have you listen to something that Representative Anthony Weiner said earlier to our very own Megyn Kelly on the news channel. I'd like your thoughts.
If I work all my life and I pay my taxes on my income and then I die and I want to pass on what would be great if it were a $5 million estate to my kids, why should I pay the government again? Why should there be a 35 or 45 or 55% tax on that again?
You aren't paying anything in that case because you'll be dead.
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, but this is part of the problem, right? They're not getting it. Yes, my heirs are going to pay, and that essentially is me.
Yeah, this is a situation where I think the real left wing is really starting to show its face. They're mad that they lost this election. They believe in wealth redistribution. And I think what you saw Congressman Weiner say was what he really believes. They're kind of blowing their tops, and they're starting to, you know, when you get mad a lot of times, you often end up saying things that you later probably regret, and I'm sure he's going to regret that.
Big time. Sir, I know you also authored a GOP pension bill, and you're looking for transparency in these pensions. You have support of Paul Ryan, Darrell Issa. Where's this going right now?
So what we wanted to do is we wanted to introduce this pension bill so that we can know that what really is the debt out there in the local and state governments. because right now we're hearing rumors that they want to come to Washington and ask for a bailout. So we introduced this bill to allow for transparency. It will not move in this lame duck Congress. Matter of fact, we don't know, as we were just talking, we're not sure what will move in this lame duck Congress. But we wanted to kind of smoke out all the problems so that we can come back next year, and I think we can move this bill. You're already seeing a lot of the folks that run these pensions, a lot of the state and local governments are screaming, saying that, oh, we don't want to do this. Well, you know, then maybe they shouldn't be coming to the feds for a bailout. And so this is going to be this is the next shoe to drop. We had the mortgage meltdown fiasco. We have all the debt that we're compiling with Obamacare and Social Security and all these unfunded liabilities at the federal level. The next shoe to drop is going to be this pension debt, this pension unfunded liabilities, where we have people that have been retiring at 50 years of age. And what's happening is that simply you can't have so many retirees and basically fewer and fewer private sector jobs not willing to being able to pay or afford these cushy pensions.
Yeah,
and so all we're asking is for the public employee pensions to be transparent, so that we know exactly what's going on.
And your state of California is as guilty as mine, New Jersey, New York, Illinois, all up there, all probably next in line with their hand out for a bailout. Congressman, thank you for being with us. I know this is a complicated time, and we appreciate your insight.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tracy.
Representative Devin Nunes of California.